So hello everybody, I'm back with a slight cough problem, but I'm also going to continue my unboxings for my Descent loot that I got. So I've been buying stuff for Descent 2nd edition over the last couple of weeks, and I've been also doing some unboxings. So today I'm going to continue with the solo or co-op game Forgotten Souls, which is like the one that I unboxed earlier, Nature's Ire. So again, as you unbox it, you get the loot track and the Overlord track, which is divided into Fate and Doom. You also have your quick reference. Again, all of the rules for this game, for this particular expansion, have to be downloaded. They're not included in the pack. You have your small card deck, which is the peril cards, and on the back of these cards you can see this little dragon, which is a vignette that is taken straight from the actual cover of Forgotten Souls. So you can distinguish these peril cards for the different expansions by their backs. And last but by no means least, you have the meat of the expansion, which is these cards. So first of all, you have the story cards, as I would like to call them, which actually tell you which room or which area to build with your tiles, and also what happens in those areas. And then you have the AI cards. Now, with regard to the AI cards, if you've played Gears of War, for example, you will have no problem using these. If you've only ever played Descent Opposed, then this will be a little bit of a difference, because basically the AI tells you how to move the monsters, because there is no Overlord. And again, you've got a bunch of these. So if you would like to see how this particular expansion plays, there are different playthroughs by Sola McLaughlin, although she I think finishes after the first act, if you will. Then Catweasel did one, but I think he had a total party wipe, and then basically he lost, so he didn't continue. And I think Tina the Board Gamer did one as well, but she also stopped after a couple of sessions. But if you want to check theirs out, you can get a really good overview over how the game plays. Of course, there would be some spoiling, because obviously the story is narrated in a semi-random fashion. So if you watch their videos, then you will of course see what happens. The next one I would like to unbox is the Descent medium-sized expansion, Lair of the Wyrm. The reason why I got it is because this is required if you want to play the co-op game Dark Elements. So let's see if I can actually tear this open. Here we go. So you get your normal little catalog thingy. I love these actually. Then you have your Lair of the Wyrm rules and quest guide. You have your mini campaign rules and a sheet where you can fill in XP and stuff. And you have the really lovely map. I really like the way they've been doing the maps. And when you play the campaign game, the map is actually quite important, because it tells you also you're traveling between areas, and these symbols here on the map actually tell you what kind of area you're traveling through. So wooded area, this is a road, this is water. Oh no, this is a mountain, I don't know. Yeah, I think this is a road symbol. Yeah, and those of you who have played Runebound 2nd edition will be familiar with these, because these are the movement dice symbols. And as you travel during the campaign, when you go from this area to this area, for example, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 travel steps. and during those travel steps, you have to draw travel cards, and then travel events may happen. So I like this mechanic a lot, which of course gets lost in the solo game. Then you have your tiles. So here you've got a particular tile. New tiles, you have tokens for a new condition. I believe it's burning or burnt. Some other tokens, more tiles, heart tokens. So comes with tiles. Also comes with monsters. So let's take a look at the minis. We have these ones. Something like a winged devil creature. More of these. And a master that comes with them. So we have 2 different monster types. And oh wow, here we've got 2 master monsters and 3 minions. And here we have 1 master and 2 minions. That's unusual that you get 2 masters. And we get 2 new heroes as well. So the sculpts are really good and very detailed. They're really lovely, lovely minis. But of course the minis themselves don't tell us a lot without looking at the actual card. So let's take a look at our heroes first. Excuse me. Here we have, oops, if I can get this out, Reinhard the Worthy. Now this comes straight from, somewhere in Germany, obviously Reinhard. He's a fighter archetype, you can tell by the red symbol up here. He has a movement of 4, 12 health, 4 stamina. He rolls a grey defense die. His might is 3, his observation 3, his law 1, and his willpower 4. So he's very strong-willed. His hero ability is that if he rolls an X during an attack roll, X means on the blue die that basically the attack misses. You may suffer 1 fatigue to re-roll 1 attack die, limited to once per attack. That's a really good one. The Widow Tara has a similar one. She doesn't have to spend fatigue, but she can re-roll any attack die once. And his heroic feat is that use that once after rolling an X during an attack roll to recover all of your... Use after re-rolling an X during an attack roll to recover all of your stamina and to re-roll any or all of the dice pool in your attack pool. Okay, so that's basically a heal myself completely of stamina loss and then re-roll. And once he's used this once, we turn over the card, and his motto is, "I've been known to lose, but never to give up." Well, that's an interesting take on things. And here we have the High Mage Quellen, who is, well, a magic user. And he's got a movement of 4, health 10, stamina 4. He rolls 1 grey defense die. He has 1 might, 5 lore, 2 observation, and 3 willpower. At the end of his turn, he may choose another hero within 3 spaces. If the chosen hero has at least 1 fatigue token on his hero sheet, you recover 1 fatigue. If the other hero has fatigue tokens equal to his stamina, you recover 2. So you can basically almost leech fatigue from them. You're not giving them fatigue, but you are basically recovering it because they are fatigued. It's a very interesting power, actually. And at the start of his turn, he can use his heroic feat to increase his stamina by 4 for the remainder of this turn. At the end of his turn, he recovers all of his stamina. That's a useful one as well. And his motto is, "I feed off the wisdom of others, even when it's less filling than my own." Yeah, so he is a leech. Then let's look at the monster cards that we got. So let's see who these villains are. Here we've got plenty of cards. First of all, here we've got the Overlord cards, which you would use in opposed play. Then we have other cards, again, Overlord rewards that I wouldn't be using because I don't play opposed. These are the so-called travel cards, which I really like. As you can see, there are the travel symbols here and what can happen to you when you travel. There might be a way of using those in solo game actually, but I haven't tried. Again, here we have the monsters. These are cards that I don't know. The Dark Council. These are these are secret room cards. Again, probably not for use in solo play. Hidden Stash again, and Rude Awakening. These are travel cards. So, yeah. Or are they travel cards? I don't know, because they do have the travel symbols, but they have a different background. So, again, I've never played the opposed version with travel, so and I probably will never do so. Okay, so now there's an explanation as to why we have seemingly two. Yeah, okay. So we have 3 different types of monsters, although the sculpts look very, very similar to me. Almost identical. I don't know if they are supposed to be so. Yeah, okay. This could be a packing error. I don't know. So first of all, let's start with the ones that are easily identifiable. The Valindra. Now, the Valindra, this is the Act 1 monster, is actually... Hold on, that is not a monster card. That is a... This is a... a sergeant or lieutenant or whatever they're called. So let's put them to the side. So they will probably be represented by a token, because this card is actually a lieutenant. So the big bad in the World of Darkness campaign game has different lieutenants that are, you know, like little bosses that you can encounter, and they come with these cards. So they have the normal statistics that heroes also have: movement, health, and their defense die, and some information on their on the backside that, you know, like hoarder, fire breath, you know, stuff that he can do. So this is actually a lieutenant. Apologies, but here we go. Here we have the monsters. We have the fire imps, which is these guys. And this is the Act 1 monster. So they get stronger over time as you play longer. They're a flame fiend. They get, which basically is explained on the back. A flame fiend is a monster that ignores the effects of lava. Each time this monster ends its activation in a space of lava or containing lava, it actually recovers 1 health. In addition, this monster never suffers any damage from burning. So if you have, let's say, a burning rune or something like that, you wouldn't be doing any damage to this one. It's also combustible. When this monster is defeated, each hero adjacent to this monster suffers 1 damage, which is, you know, annoying. So you kill them and then they just explode. When they roll a surge, they get +1 range, and in addition, they can also burn you on the second surge, or if they don't need additional range, then they will burn you. If this attack deals at least 1 damage after the defense roll, the target is burning if you have a surge. This is the second act, so they get stronger in terms of, as you can see, the Act 1 minion has only 2 health points, but the Act 2 minion has 4, and the Act 1 master has 4 health points, and the Act 2 master has 6 health points. So they're really powerful. And here we have the Hybrid Sentinel. This will be them. And they can fly, they prey on the weak, and on a surge they do additional damage. And the master actually also has fire breath as a special ability on a surge. And what does prey on the weak mean? Each of these monsters attacks targeting a hero with 2 or less might gains +1 damage. So they check they essentially prey on the weak. So I don't know anything about this particular expansion. The reason why I got it was, first of all, I've been told it's a nice one. And secondly, because I wanted to play Dark Elements, for which this is a prerequisite. So let's put all of these cards back where they belong. And of course, you also get small cards. And these small cards, in this case, we'll see what they contain. I would assume that they contain weapons, so items. And these are for the hero archetype, and they go for the hero archetype champion, or the fighter archetype champion. So these are archetype cards. We have for the heroes, the red class heroes, the so-called fighters, a new archetype called champion. And for the magic users, we have the geomancer. So people who do magic using earth elements. So they have their own card deck here. Well, I don't know, you might call it class even, probably. We have, again, these powerful relic type objects. And then we have a treasure that you can find Act 1 and Act 2. And you can put them into the normal treasure decks that you already have from other games. They mix in. And here is the burn condition. So we'll return this over. Burning. You or a figure adjacent to you may perform an action to discard this card or token. At the end of your turn, you and each friendly figure adjacent to you suffers one damage. So basically, you are burning and everybody else around you is burning as well. So a very nasty condition, and you would like to get rid of this very, very quickly. So this is all that I'm going to do today. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Like I said, I was ill and I was basically in bed all weekend because I didn't want to miss work. So I basically was really, in bed taking loads of medication. But of course I didn't get any gaming done. So I'm still playing my first playthrough of Nature's Ire. So I will probably play one more part in it, one more section, and then reset and then start filming, because I do want to do kind of like a blind playthrough, because I enjoy them, and I think a lot of people also enjoy them when when you're not just running through and going, and this is what I do and this is what I do, and here this is what I have to do, but when they're actually experiencing the playthrough and the game experience as you are doing it for, discovering new things, getting new cards and so on and so forth. So I'm going to finish the last section of the first act this weekend, and then I'm going to start filming. So until then, bye.